that might be fixed for now.
It might be.
It might be. Who knows? Clever painful.
Chance.
Do not like. We're making science again.
That's good.
Whether we'll get enough sites to actually send before it all decays, who knows? There's just
Right,
so
your last
much,
one. Off you go.
so much waste filtering that I've had to put in.
Come and watch your clever.
See, I think the main bottleneck that I had before I fixed it was this assembler being a biochamber.
Yeah.
And then using half the food that it produced. Whereas now we're just running out of electricity instead.
Embrace the spaghetti.
It's not a good system. We do not have power. But
Have you got any heating towers?
no. Do I need heating towers?
Can I suggest you invest in some heating towers?
Why?
Well, they produce fuel, and
What?
they will get rid of any excess bioproducts.
Excess isn't really an issue at the moment, though. It's relatively balanced. And anything that is excess and spoils gets turned back into the biofuel, which is the main limiter.
I think in the end you end up with excess of a lot of things.
I mean, probably.
You're making 6 science a minute.
I am. I'm not entirely sure.
By the way,
why
your
I've got
biggest
those
production
machines.
on Gleba is 293 stone per minute.
Yep. Just sat over in the corner, unused.
You need that stone.
Gotta have some stone. Yeah, why? Do you remember why I've got things set up the way I have?
Why did I do this 3 hours ago?
Yeah. I mean, the machines I've stood next to, these two,
Yeah.
I don't need those. I don't know why I've got them. I had a plan at one point, I am sure. But yeah, I might just get rid of them.
Well, you're making more nutrients out of it, aren't you? Making additional nutrients.
Not really. Because it's being fed stuff. But that is, I've got the same setup over here, so it's just doing it in 2 places. It's just not an optimal place. Because the nutrients has got to go so much further. Unless I just have... Unless I do that. That might actually be worth doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might think about taking that out. If I need more space in the middle of the base for whatever reason, that might disappear.
Embrace the spaghetti.
Well, the thing is, if I remove those, I can bring these 2 crafts down to be closer to the source, so there's less of a stockpile out in the open. So, I don't know. It's vaguely working. We're up to 500 science. It's getting there. I just need to make sure we're actually bringing in enough fruit to keep everything supplied. Right. No, you go back to there. Science shuttle. You go to that science shuttle. Doing some manual rocket sending. Well, I think I'm happy that Gleber's working.
I don't think there's a lot more I can do today.
No. I think I might just have to keep an eye on stuff. I do want to see just a second if my logic is going to work. Which I hope it is. Seems to be. Ooh. For some reason we're not making any fuel.
No.
Well, that's fun. We're not getting water.
Which ship's this on?
Science shuttle for Vulcanus.
Right. Yes, there's no fuel in the nuclear reactor.
Wait, there's no water as well. Which is more the issue, because it just means we're not making any thruster fuel.
Yeah.
None of the others have had that issue.
You make fuel from melting ice, but you have no ice.
I also do it from emptying water barrels. But I guess we don't have enough water barrels on the surface currently.
Yeah.
Maybe all the barrels have been used up somewhere. Where are water barrels being made? You don't have any barrels.
The thing is, I guess you're hoping that an ice asteroid hits very close to one of the two ice grabbers. There's not a huge amount of space to grab an ice asteroid.
What? Because I was more relying on the water. Well, no, there's 4 ice grabbers total.
Oh yeah, but they overlap, so
yeah.
Each side is only sort of like 1.5 ice grabbers worth of space. So you're relying on the barrels from Navis, which
have been working. I would assume that our barrels have been used up somewhere, and that's why we don't have enough left in the network.
Oh no, it's because they're not crafted because the inserter's waiting to be upgraded.
Yeah, no, we just don't have the barrels in the network. When they're being upgraded, they still work. But
Not everything does. Belts stop working sometimes when they've got an upgrade requested. In this case they haven't, but sometimes they do in my experience. We just don't have any barrels.
Yeah, I think I need to just set up a...
I guess the thing is you had an X amount of barrels, which is fine if they're always being sent up to rockets to be emptied. Spent up to space stations to be emptied, but we've got such a rocket shortage and so many space stations to provide supplies to that they're all waiting there, but the request isn't getting through because there's other things being requested.
Yeah.
You've got barrels of water available.
It's just not enough, because it needs
We've just
100
not
to
got...
send up.
But also there's so many other things that it can send up for other spaceships that it's just doing those as well.
Right. Let's do a quick bit of logic.
You can ask the rocket to send up less than the optimum amount for that. But the request just isn't getting through anyway. Currently we've got 2 rockets there waiting for explosive cannon shells, so...
Yeah. There was the 4 barrels is greater than 2,000. No, less than. think that's going to work. Maybe.
How many bots are we trying to get in the network now? We've got 52k and 74k, and we are aiming for 99k. Realistically, the amount that I've requested is probably massively overkill, but it will happen in the end. Eventually we'll have that
fine.
many. Oh, I can't wait to have a bus that doesn't have a cliff through the middle of it. Or even better, just not have a bus.
To be fair, I mean, all these cliffs you could get rid of.
I could, but it's easier just to rebuild the base at this point, given we're intending to anyway. I am just probably not going to do a bus in the new one, though.
I mean, what, just rely on robots?
Trains.
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 Yes. Just trains. In this non-rail world.
I can use 1+1 trains, that's the thing. So, we started with 2+8, and that would have been fine in Rail World, but really doesn't work here.
Yeah.
But 1+1, especially for intermediate components, would be great.
Yeah, nice and quick.
I've got some ideas, I've got some plans. Just need to actually start building it at some point.
Yeah.
Which means having space, which the bots are slowly I think the bots have pretty much ground to a halt in what they can do now. Whether that's because they're out of resources or because they can't get through the biters, I don't know. I still haven't found where roboports are made.
Have you not? I found it.
There it is.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, it was being held up by the red circuits, which was copper. But it seems as though copper's
They need
recovered.
a lot of red circuits. They need 45 each.
It's hard to see under your upgrades.
Yeah.
But copper seems to have recovered. I think the new mine was needed.
Yes. Or 3 additional trains in a new mine that is running at a much greater rate than any of the others. Have you seen the new mine since I upgraded it?
Nope. Let me go have a look. Ooh, you added more stuff to it. Some of which is not powered.
Built. No, then it will be when they eventually get down here to build it.
They don't have roboports though.
Again, they're there ready to go in when they eventually get down here to build it.
If you run a tank down there, it should be able to build it, shouldn't it?
There's no roboports in the network. No one has roboports.
A question about your signalling.
Yes.
There is a copper train. There's 2 copper trains for the new copper pickup that aren't waiting in the...
Yeah, it's because those are meant to be rail signals. I didn't do this bit of signalling, you did.
I didn't. I copied and pasted yours.
Well, you've copy pasted it the wrong way round then.
Maybe? I don't know.
If you go and look at the drop-off, the copper drop-off.
Yeah.
Going in from the left, it's a chain signal at the entrance, rail signals once you're in the lane.
Huh.
And then at the exit on the right, it's chain signals to exit, and then a rail signal after the junction.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the one I copied, but they all have the correct signals, so I have no idea.
I think you've just flipped it. I think you copied it but didn't rotate it the right way.
Possibly. Who knows? Right. I think.
I'd fixed the bottom, but I hadn't realised the top was also broken. It's now fixed as well, so once those signals get replaced by the bots, it should work.
Yeah. Right. Before we finish up, we are about to get a new rocket load of science packs coming through. So we
should consider reordering the science then.
Well, it's not quite there yet, but yes, we should be able to do the rocket turret in a second.
What science isn't running currently?
We've now hit...
What science pack don't we have?
1,000.
It's very difficult to tell. Purple, I think. I think we're out of purples again.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sit here on this for the evening and just watch, make sure everything stays working.
We're out of productivity modules. which is because we're out of green circuits, which is because we're out of copper cable.
Everyone.
Ah, I see why we're out of copper cable. It's because the supply for purple science, the copper supply, is coming off one lane of the 8-lane bus. And it's still going through a yellow inserter at the moment.
I mean, sounds like
that is being upgraded, but let's have it come off all 8 lanes.
Right, there we go. Space Shuttle 1 is going.
Now, until those are built, there's going to be no copper through the network, but they'll be built eventually.
Did you see how fast the science shuttles go?
No.
They do go about double the speed of the other rockets.
That is speedy.
I made them as light as possible. So if you compare that weight to the battle barge, the battle barge is over 1,000 tons.
Yeah.
And this is just under 400 tons. I mean, Nostromo is over 1,000 as well, with its long accumulator banks that you've added.
Yeah. Right, reorder the science, ready for the delivery.
So, rocket turret. From there we can do Spidertron, which should make things a lot easier. They're not actually that expensive to make either, other than the rocket turret. Because that's carbon fibre, and that's a problem for next time. Oh, and that unlocks coal synthesis.
There we go, we should have more copper running down towards...
These upgrades have made it very difficult to see anything going on.
I know, but eventually it will all upgrade and then it'll be fine.
Sure. We might need to queue another Gleba science in a second.
That's fine, we can have health.
Because it'll be, 300 for the rocket turret, and the 150 for the tool belt, and then we still have 500 left over, in theory. So we could do tree seeding, because that's only 50.
Do we need that?
Lets you plant some trees. I mean, if we want to reduce pollution, we could do as just having a ring of trees around our base.
Sure. And then I might put health in as well. And I think we'll still have a bit left that I'll put into stack inserter.
That's working on agricultural science. What's it running out of? Just everything slowly. It's a bit lumpy doing the sciences these ways, because it only tops it up when it runs out of something, doesn't preemptively top it up. But that's not too bad. Have we considered making quality science?
No, but I fear you'd need a quality lab to process quality science, and I just don't want to deal with the effort.
Yeah.
You'd need every science to be that quality, and a quality lab. It's not worth it.
I mean, I definitely don't want to do quality on Gleba.
I'm very into the idea of specific things we choose to be qualitied, like the armor
Stuff
and
we
the
actually
vehicles,
use.
Spidertrons and armor. I mean, it could be well worth doing quality for power poles and that sort of thing, substations, because they'll have a wider range that they cover.
Yeah. Is it worth, if you're going to start redoing the whole base with trains, is it worth getting some quality trains going?
I don't think so.
They might have a better top speed, better acceleration.
1+1 trains will be so fast anyway, there won't be an issue.
Yeah, but even faster.
No, it's fine. They will be fine.
But faster.
They're not going that far.
But I want them to be faster.
There's an upgrade for that. There's research for that. Weirdly, I don't think it's infinite research, but...
What other clever
Oh,
science
hang on.
thing?
I was going to do stack inserter, but I've come up with something more urgent.
Spider would be nice, wouldn't it?
I found something more pressing.
Yeah.
We did health 1. We can do health 2 if we want, but I think health 1's enough for now.
Yeah. That. Ooh, tree seeding unlocks fish breeding.
Indeed.
We might need fish breeding.
Probably.
It's a way to make nutrients on Nalvis
Yes.
out of fish
Not a fish.
in our very polluted water. I assume that the Glebicides has run out.
If we've dropped down to 0, but we haven't quite.
We have.
No, its science per minute is still 34, so
Okay,
it never hit 0.
there we go. Gotta do a bit more science.
we've got to make sure it uses up every last bit of it. I know that it doesn't look like there's any in the machines, but until I see that graph hit 0.
Okay. I mean, the percentage isn't changing.
No. But if you hover over it,
Yeah.
the graph has science per minute 33.
Well,
Now it's hit 0.
yeah. I think it might just take a little while to update.
Yeah. The graph has now hit 0, but it didn't hit 0 before. It
Yeah.
was at like 0.2 or something. Now we can change it. There we go. Didn't quite finish tree seeding.
Yeah. There's so much beeping still going on.
Hopefully we stockpiled some purple while we were doing that, so steel plates should finish. Then Energy Shield Mark II doesn't need purple, which is good. I'll reorder that so it will stockpile purple again before we do the sciences that need purple.
Yeah. Well, we're almost halfway to having another round of clever sciences. So, I think we're not doing too badly on the clever speed.
No. Should we leave it there then?
I think that's a good place to leave it.
So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.